Okay guys, here's what you need to know from yesterday's video. This is a quick recap. 1. Command economies. Command economies are communist. What that means is the government controls every aspect of production. They control the resources, they control the production itself, and they control employees. They tell you what job you'll work, what hours you'll work, and you have no say in that. Okay? It also tells you what you're going to buy because they decide what gets produced. Second, market economy. Market economy is the complete opposite of command. There is zero government intervention. The market itself is what drives it. For example, consumers decide what's going to be bought, producers decide what's going to be produced, and no one has any say in it. Lastly, you have a mixed market. Now, a mixed market is a combination of both. Mixed market means there is little government intervention when needed, when necessary. Okay? The United States has a mixed market. That's an example. An example of a command economy would be the former Soviet Union or Cuba now. An example of a market economy, there are no pure markets because government will always intervene when needed. Hopefully this little quick recap will help you understand yesterday's stuff. So, on to your notes for today. Okay guys, today's notes are over the creation of a mixed economy or mixed market economy. It starts with the government and the economy and how the government and the market and how the government interacts with a market, creating a mixed market like the U.S. has. First, the government takes an active role in market economy for many different reasons. Okay, first, this idea of profit motive doesn't always provide everything that consumers need. Remember, profit motive is what motivates people in a market economy to produce and consume things. You want to produce more things in order to hopes to make more profit or make more money. Okay, the more money you have, the more incentive you have to do something. And the pure market doesn't always provide that. Okay, but a mixed market will because the government can intervene if necessary. And the reason they do this is they provide this because some things aren't profitable, but you have to have them. All right, we're going to look right here in a second at four big points or four big reasons why the government would intervene. And the first one of those points deals heavily with this idea of what's not profitable but still necessary. Okay, the first one, like I said here, is providing public goods and services. For example, national defense. National defense is like the military, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, the National Guard. Okay, they protect our country in times of war, in times of not of war. It is necessary we have these. Now, they don't make a profit. Okay? In fact, they're paid for solely by the government. But if the government didn't pay for them, we wouldn't have them because business wouldn't want to pay for it because they don't make any money in return. Second, police and fire protection. That is necessary as well. You want to be protected. If your house catches on fire, you definitely want to have the fire there. But they don't make any money. Now, don't get me wrong here. The people that work as a policeman, a fireman, or in the military do make money, but the organization themselves don't make money. They're not profitable. Okay. Lastly, public parks. Okay, public parks. People love going to parks, spending time. I do, you do. That is paid for by the government. Okay. If it wasn't, it wouldn't be to the level of it we expect it to be. Second thing they do is they redistribute income. They take money from citizens who have it through taxes and give it to those who do not through programs like welfare, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. It helps people who need help with financial issues by providing them money. The money does come from taxes. We all pay it, but we all pay in, not the same, but we pay in, everybody has to pay in, and in hopes of, in case we need it, one day we can get it in return. Okay, there's no guarantee we won't ever need these welfare programs. All right. Third, they resolve market failures. Take a bailout. If the economy is starting to go bad, they can step in, bail out some businesses, and hope that you don't get another depression. That was the big deal with Obama's last bailout. Lastly, they protect property rights because you have to own property to be successful in a market economy. So they protect these. They don't let people rob from you. They don't let you, let your business get broken and get things stolen from. Okay. Next point is government regulations. The government makes laws in order to control what a business does in order to protect the consumer. Their goal is to protect you by regulating business. Take, for example, a monopoly. Monopolies are bad for consumers. The reason why they're bad for consumers is simple. If you only have one producer producing a certain item, that producer can charge whatever they want for that item. Take, for example, Standard Oil, which was broken up. Standard Oil, imagine there was one company that owned all the gas stations around here. They could charge $10 a gallon if they wanted, and you would have to pay for it if you wanted to drive anywhere. That is not good for consumers. The second thing that it does is they implement workplace safety laws. They don't want you getting hurt at work. Your consumers or your producers may not be too worried about that because they can always hire more people. Take, for example, child labor. Okay, these workplace safety laws are in place to stop child labor or you getting hurt at work or them taking advantage of you. Next thing, these taxes on alcohol and tobacco. The government has a higher tax on alcohol and tobacco for one reason and one reason only. They don't want you to use them. Hear me right. They do not want you to use alcohol and tobacco. They know both are bad for you, and it can harm you. In fact, it can cause death. We all know that. So they increase the taxes in hopes of, one, less people being able to afford them, and two, to discourage people from using them. That's their government or government regulation protecting you. Lastly is environmental protection. They do things like limiting how much pollution businesses can put out. Okay, if you own a big factory and you're just putting out tons of pollution, they know that's bad for the environment. And as a result, they're not going to allow you to do that. They're going to protect the environment and as a result protect people by regulating your business. Okay, so remember, government regulation is when they step in and put laws on your business in order to help protect consumers and your employees. The opposite of a regulation is called a deregulation. What it is a relaxation or removal of regulations on business activities. Now, hear that right. Is a relaxation, which means they can back off some of the regulations, or a removal, complete removal of regulations on business. The best example, in the 1970s, airlines were guaranteed profits by the government. And the reason was it's because the government set their prices and their flight schedules. So airlines were guaranteed they were going to make a profit no matter what happened. No matter how bad their customer service was or how bad their flights were delayed or not on time. Jimmy Carter, when he was in office as president, he deregulated the airlines, which basically means now the airlines have to compete with each other. Back in the market. Remember, less command, now it's back in the market. Now they have to be on time if they want people to fly with them. They have to provide good customer service. Okay, and as a result, consumer satisfaction went up. People liked flying. They didn't before this, but people like flying now because it's a pleasant experience. Also, what went down were prices. It became less expensive to fly. And the reason why is because people had to compete with, airlines had to compete with each other in order to get customers to come fly with them. So that is a deregulation, which is a relaxation or removal. Now, you're going to look up here in a minute some examples of regulations and deregulations on the airline, not on the airlines, on different things in the United States. Okay, that's going to be on your task sheet. Remember, if you didn't finish yesterday's assignments, you can finish them today, or you can also work on today's. All right, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in class.